One of the biggest sad cases about modern day dating, and I'm responding to this because I've had this discussion for the last 2 weeks, and the common theme and thread are two words: deceived and lies. Deceived and lies. This is when a man discovers that what she told him in the beginning was not exactly what was on the table. So he was deceived to believe. He was led to believe. What does that tell you? You know, there's a concept in life where people believe that if you're honest, you're a good person, you're going to get the best of the person because you're being sincere. And then I looked at the teachings and doctrines of Sure 7. It encourages people to be deceptive. So an example of that is that a girl who has a roster will present to the man that she's single and available, especially if the man has substance, has resources. She's not going to tell him, hey, you're number 4. So she has to deceive and lie to him. A girl who has a child and her baby daddy is very much in the picture, still accessing her body, she's not going to be forthcoming that the man is still available because she seeks a man to provide for her. It failed for her to be with that man, relationship wise or marriage. She seeks to have a man of her own, quote unquote, but she will not disclose that this man is very much clapping, and this man will be deceived to believe, hey, I found myself a woman. That's why men don't want to be going with single mothers these days. Some are led to believe that, hey, she just had, fate dealt her a hard blow. She just misfortune event that happened to her. So she was just unfortunate. And then they take her on only to discover that there was deception in those lies. So it seems to me that modern day relationships, I'm speaking from the side of the female, they're deceiving and they're lying. That's not to say that there's no women out there who are being honest and transparent. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the wrong that's being done to men is not being done by the honest, upright women. It's not. And it seems to me that the majority have adopted, and it shows that there was a girl who was bragging about the fact that she don't need to disclose that she got HIV to just let the men sleep with her, and it's on their own. She don't need to disclose. I have never met a man who go along saying, hey, I'm going to deceive these girls. I'm not saying bad men don't exist, but I've never met a man who just publicly go on TikTok and say, hey, I will just distribute this disease that I have. I don't care. Never have. But the deception and the manipulation and the lies is coming from the women. So now when men perceive that the majority of women are being deceitful and they're lying, they're going to retreat because it's hard to pick a good one. And that's why I understand the passport bros. Because you're like, well, in the West, maybe there's 10 out of 10,000 that are good. And who am I to know? Because if they're all being deceitful and getting manipulated, because remember, most men that got taken to the cleaners, they once believed in the love in the women that they have. You got pastors, wives divorcing them, and they still do it in the name of Jesus. You got good Christian girls saying, God told me walk out that relationship. But before that, they were all in, supposedly. Deception is the order of the day. Really? Deception and lies is what these young ladies are being coached to approach relationship with. And that's a bad deal for men, but that's a bad deal for women in the long term because men will not participate long term. Of course, oftentimes women will be like, hey, as long as I got the bag out of it, I deceived him, I manipulated him, I convinced him to be something I wasn't. And then by the time he discovered, I got paid because the court system favors me. The court system favors me as a woman. They don't know how deceitful can be. So girls are counting on a man to not be aware in the beginning. Now men are waking up to it because of this podcast, such as mine, and a lot of other brothers out there doing the Lord's work. Many men now doing y'all's work, because what men should know, it would be good to know at the beginning that, hey, you got a roster, look, I'm out. But girls don't want that. They want him to take her on dates, feed her. Maybe the guy is lighthearted. He gives her some money too. He helps her pay the bills. And then he discovers that. And she look at him like, like, I don't care. I don't care if you hurt. So deceptive and lies. And I wish more women would counter that. Not try to argue with my videos, for instance. Not try to say, no, counter those negative, that negative stigma that y'all ladies have in the dating pool. Because a lot of women, sure, Seven is the prophet of that. Going out there, deceive him, lie to him, deceive him, cry, And if that's the order of the day, men should not be dating at all. Many men should be just literally be paying for it, really. Really should just be paying for it, because if I'm going to be manipulated to believe I'm the only man there, only discover you got a roster, only discover your baby daddy's clapping, only discover that now the house is gone and your boyfriend's moved in, you robbed me, only discover that, what are we doing here? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now, some men are fools. They keep taking the exes back who cheated on them. Foolish man. But the order of the day, as far as the feminine is concerned, the feminine was supposed to be nurturing, caring, sweet, kind. Now, the list of characteristics for the feminine is deceptive and lying. The majority. No, I'm not saying every woman's like that. No. I'm sure some good ones out there. But what young men are encountering more often than not are girls who are two-faced, with multiple men, not content. I've said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.